Lord, I gotta be strong. I have done so much wrong. When I think that I got it, I learn I got more to learn. Know this journey not easy, and yes, it must be alone. When I give it my everything I will earn. Lately, I've been so lazy, thinking no effort will pay.
Well, hello, everybody. This is your host, Joshua Burney, aka Joshua B, your public speaking rapper with an English degree, and I want to welcome you all here to the Joshua Burney Morning Show. Now, the Joshua Burney Morning Show will consist of me sitting around interviewing and connecting with people. I believe we are here to create an opportunity for other people. And so we genuinely believe in we are given the opportunity to give it. And so right now we have the great pleasure of being able to interview not just a friend of mine, but also someone who has continually shown forth excellence in many areas of his life, and being able to hear his journey and where he has arrived now as a business owner. And so listen, for all of us young people out there, you're talking maybe 20s and just leaving college, and you're going towards your 30s, you're like, man, I really want my finances to be better. What can I do? Well, listen, I wanted to reach out to the community, and I found this great man who is the guru. I consider in my eyes a guru of personal finance. He grew up here locally in Belhaven, North Carolina, and moved down to Greenville. And through his journey, he has started his own company, Influx. And we have him here today, and I want to welcome to the Joshua Burney Morning Show, Mr. Antonio Money Bunn. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good, Joshua. How about yourself,
man? Look, it's a beautiful day to be here in the land of the living.
Man, it is.
So I'm excited. Listen, welcome to the show. All right. We are genuinely happy and pleased to have you here on the show. Have the opportunity to grab a little bit of the time. You know you're Mr. Money Bunn, so you be on it. You're a family man, and so we wanted to grab some time. So listen, tell me. We're gonna kick this thing right off.
Okay.
So let the audience know who is Money Bunn.
Okay. Well, Money Bunn, Antonio, also known as Tony. As Joshua said earlier, I was born and raised in Belhaven, North Carolina. Moved here, it was actually 10 years ago this year.
Mm-hmm.
Moved here 10 years ago to go to college. I never really thought I was gonna, be able to go to college, but God blessed me with that opportunity, man. So I took it, I jumped on it, and I moved here 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Started going to Pitt Community College. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know this, but my original degree was respiratory therapy.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I never knew that. I never knew that.
Yes, sir. But as time passed, I began to realize that respiratory therapy wasn't for me.
Okay.
I went and did job shadow and did a job shadowing at the hospital, and I realized it just wasn't for me. So I changed my degree a second time to radiation therapy.
Okay.
Went from radiation therapy, man. I went even into that, not knowing what I realized it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
Changed my degree, my major a third time, and went with computer information technology.
Okay.
And the computer information technology degree led me to transfer into East Carolina University, where I earned my bachelor's degree in business education. I was being strategic with this thing. I wanted to basically set myself up so that I could have multiple options. At the time, I just looked at it as options. I didn't look at it as streams of income like I do now. But I looked at it as, just job options at that point, because I had no idea that I would be a business owner, someday. So graduated from East Carolina with my bachelor's in business education, and then began working in the finance field. Working in banking, lending, worked in collections
Mm-hmm.
for several years, and just began to blossom into who I am today.
Okay. So you made a great point, and that was when you were in college and you were kind of strategically planning your options.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look at it as, or you were acknowledging at that time that you was creating those options. You didn't look at those options as streams of income.
Right.
Okay, so at what point in time did it click in your mind, said, okay, this is a way I can make money instead of this is just a job?
Okay. When it really clicked for me, I graduated ECU in 2011,
mm-hmm.
and I started working, and I was working.
Well, you would know that, by the way.
Yeah, right. Right. But I started working in banking, and I was making okay money, but at the same time, I really didn't. It wasn't what I wanted to make. So what I did was I started looking and applying for part-time jobs.
Okay.
And man, in the midst of applying for part-time jobs, I'm realizing that, everybody's turning me down, talking about you're overqualified, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, man, all I had was like customer service leader, customer service experience. And, I do have some in banking, this, that, and the other, but, overqualified? Okay.
That's like that's just their fancy way of saying we're not going to pay you what you're worth.
Right. Right. And with that being said, man, it clicked for me one day. I was like, Tony, why are you looking for part-time? Why are you looking for part-time employment when you really have it inside of you? Tony, you really have to take those things that you started back in college, and make them work for you. Turn that computer degree into money. Turn the finance experience you have into money. Take all of your experiences and turn it into revenue, ways of making money and things of that nature.
Okay, so you talk of experiences, right?
Yes, sir.
Is there a specific, when you listen to a lot of people's lives, really successful and famous people, they always revert to discuss their success in terms of something that happened to them while they were in a younger age. And so that would be my question to you. Is there something in your past, that experience as some type of, a toddler, an infant, a teenager that allowed you or catapulted you to the place you are with money?
Yeah, I would say that, between being in that situation where I didn't have enough and had to make a way to, get that extra money, rolling. Well, I'm not going to say I didn't have enough. I had enough for my needs, but I wanted to satisfy some wants. Okay. So between that and then growing up in a single family home. Okay. I grew up, my mother had me when she was 16 years old. She was 16 years old. She was, battling with drug addiction and so on and so forth. And, my grandmother raised me. Okay. And my grandmother, of course she's my grandmother, so she's older. She did the best she could. She taught me how to make it. But once I got in college, once I graduated, once I got into the real world, I realized that making it doesn't get it. You have to strive for even further, even better than that. So those are really, just looking at how I grew up and, living paycheck to paycheck. And, I was like, man, I refuse to be like that. Looking at my mother being on drugs, father being on drugs. I'm like, man, forget that. I'm not growing up. I'm not going to be like that. I have to go beyond that, beyond what I was exposed to as a child. And that was really the main thing that really pushed me to do better in my finances and really take control.
Well, listen, isn't that truly inspiring, man? I promise you. Listen. I love what I do because I'm able to connect with people, and by connecting with people, you understand their stories, and whether you know that person for years, you get a more in-depth understanding of the same situation over and over again, man. It really opens your eyes. And so it's exciting to hear that, man, because I grew up in a single parent home, 2 brothers, 1 sister, just my mom, and she's been working it, man. So, and I understand the difficulty that can come about, especially trying to handle your finances if it isn't necessarily talked about at all in the home, and then you're taking on that responsibility. So I completely understand. So listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss how that transformed you to eventually start your own company, Influx of Wealth, and what you're doing now, what your goals are. So we'll be back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show.
After an accident, you want your car looking good as new. Let Second Look Auto Body put confidence back in your hands. We handle insurance claims, collision repairs, all to keep you worry-free. With over 25 years experience, our professional staff works to ensure 100% customer satisfaction guaranteed. We walk you through the process to keep you informed to bring you a peace of mind. Open Monday through Thursday 8 to 5 and Friday 8 to 12 to put you back on the road in no time. Call today for your free estimate at 252-830-0428. Located in 1906 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville, North Carolina. Second Look Auto Body. A job so nice, you will look twice. Quality care cleaning and pressure washing. We are insured and bonded to protect you. We clean residential and commercial properties, cleaning side paneling, fences, brick, driveways, patios, and more. Call us today to get an estimate. Our number is 919-215-5106 or 252-327-6695. Email us at qccleaningpw@gmail.com. Quality care cleaning and pressure washing. Quality service, quality work.
Man, I'm telling you, boy, technology, when it's not weird, it's good.
Right.
But listen, we are back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show. I'm your host, Joshua Burney, aka Joshua B, your public speaking rapper with an English degree. And we're back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show here with Antonia Money Bunn from Influx of Wealth Management. And so we are continuing the conversation, and we kind of wanted to switch gears from just his personal life now on to his professional life and what he's been able to accomplish with Influx, what his goals are, and what's his journey. So Tony, Mr. Antonio, excuse me, what allowed you to finally take that step to say, when you started your business, to say, I'm gonna actually do this now?
Man, believe it or not, it was kind of like I was forced into doing it.
Okay.
I've always been the type of person where, I'm kind of shy. I don't like being in front of people, this, that, and the other, but I found that, I was pretty much forced. I kept having people coming up to me, like, man, I need help with my finances. I need help with this. I need help with that. And I'm just like, man, all right, cool, fine, I'll do it. I'll help, And, man, when I started, and I begin to see the results in people's lives and their finances, seeing people come out of debt, seeing people get control of their finances, it really began to open up another side of me to be able to, really just push even harder, So, like I said, it started with with being forced, but, it grew into, just a natural wanting to do it.
That's nice, man.
Step outside of my comfort zone,
Okay. All right, so listen, so you handle personal finance.
Yes, sir.
So what under your company, or what is the process that your company would take when let's say I'm coming in and saying, hey, I want to know more about my finances, I want to improve them. How does that process go? Just to give a sneak peek, not everything,
Okay.
just a sneak peek.
All right. Well, what I do, I start off with a questionnaire asking you pretty much, what are your current, what's your current income, what's your current expenses, or what are the things that you spend money on, on a weekly, monthly basis? What are things that you would like to have? What are some things you would like to be able to purchase or do or whatever? And I take that information and, we pretty much put it together in what I call a financial plan. And, it starts with 3 goals that you want to reach. Some people may say saving money, getting out of debt, whatever, whatever their goals are. We base that financial plan off of what their goals are, and then we take it and formulate that plan of action that they need to take. So this plan of action has all their income, expenses. Then on the side it has the to-do list. And we take and we'll say every month or 2 months or 3 months, just depends on how serious the situation is. But we take the information that they provide and we give them that to-do list and allow them to work on that for a month or so. And then after they work on that, we meet up again, come back and talk about it, what worked, what didn't work. Then we, keep the cycle going like that. And that's normally the basis of what we do when it comes to personal finances.
Okay. I have a question. All right. So
Okay.
again, I know a lot of young professionals. I'm 26 years old, and you are 28, right?
29. Just
29.
turned
Oh man, I really
October.
thought it was 28. Okay, so you're 29 now, and we are in that age bracket of saying, okay, we really want to improve our finances. With all the information or the clients that you have dealt with so far, and the information that you have been able to compound, what are 3 pieces of advice you would give to any young professional who really wants to take that step towards positive adult money bank finances?
Man. first thing I would say is be real with yourself. You have to really sit down and think about where where you are. A lot of people go into and go through life flossing without teeth, as our pastor calls it.
True.
And they go through life, with a champagne. What is it?
Champagne lifestyle with a beer budget or something.
Right,
like that.
right.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
go through life like that, man, and you can't do that. You have to be real with yourself. You have to, if you're making $1,000 a month and your expenses are $1,200 a month, you have to be real with yourself and say, hey, look, I need to cut this off. I need to get rid of that. I need to stop doing this, and this, and make that thing work for where you are.
Okay.
So be real with yourself, first of all. Second of all, get a budget and stick to it. A lot of people, they'll come down, they'll sit down with me, we'll work on a budget, we'll get their plan of action straightened out, their to-do list, they'll do it the first time, the first month, 2-3 months, and then we meet up again and they're, ready to go on to the next step. And then they hit that next step and they're like, then the next time we meet, they're like, man, I did this, and this, and, and even though that's reality, we're human, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to do that, really making up in our mind that we have no choice but to go higher. We have no choice but to do better. That's the number 2 thing that I would say. Just making up in your mind that you have to do better, that you have no choice. There's no other option. By sticking with that budget and doing what you need to do.
Okay.
And then the third thing I would say is, man, once you learn it, once you get a hold of it, just spreading the knowledge, because a lot of us grew up, as you were saying earlier, where we didn't talk about finances in our home, where, maybe our parents didn't know any better. A lot of people grew up like that. And, by taking what we do know and what we do learn and spreading that knowledge and wisdom to, whether it's young people that, we run into, or even older people that we run into, just sharing that wealth of knowledge, I think is another great tool, a great thing to do.
Wow. Okay. So listen, let's shift gears for just a quick second.
Okay.
All right. We'll piggyback because that's something that I have understood more, and especially going to the third thing you said, which is sharing the information, right? And that's why, again, I wanted to be able to do this, because you have the information. And one of the things that I've found in my journey of seriously taking my finances, even the more, is how much I've had to learn about finances, right? Like, from the history of it to how really cash flow works and assets and liabilities, and why it's really such a simple idea at the basis. It still takes a lot of knowledge or time out to be able to find this information. So what do you think stops some people from handling finances without fear, right? What do you think stops them from saying, okay, I'm gonna go out and find this information that you've seen with your clients?
Okay. What I've seen with my clients most of the time is, like I said, they lack the knowledge. They want to do better. They want to get this information, but they don't know where to go to get it. Okay. And us, who are technology savvy, we're like Google will tell you anything you need to know. You type the question in, boom, there's your answer, and you can just dig deeper from there, but that's one of the main things. It's just not having access to the information, or not realizing that they have access to that information. And another thing that I've kind of run into is a lot of them just lack the self-control or confidence in themselves that they can do better. They have the information, they have everything they need, but they just lack the confidence in themselves and knowing that hey, I deserve better than this.
See, that's amazing. And I guess that kind of makes me think of what my next question is people, it's difficult with finances because it's, it's put out there so much that, hey, you need it all the time. And going from a person or a poverty mind state to saying, okay, I'm learning this information and I'm applying this information, what do you think is it within that moment of actually applying that keeps that person on track to following or reaching their goal of finances?
I think the main thing that keeps them on track, I can speak for myself. What kept me on track and continues to keep me on track is I've seen that it works.
Okay.
Between looking at myself and looking back on my life and how I started in one place and now I'm in another, I've seen it work. So being that I've seen it work and I've seen it work in other people that I've helped, I have no choice but to keep going, keep getting more information. And, I think that's like I said, that's my story. And that's what I keep hearing from other people is, my clients is, hey, Tony, this works. Like, I appreciate you letting me, telling me about this. I had no idea before meeting with you, but, this works. And the fact that it works, that alone is their motivation, with a lot of people that I've seen.
Okay. So with a lot of information that you just spit out, how long actually have you been in business? If you were to say, this is when I started, how long have you been in business now?
Well, officially, I've been in business 2 years, since 2014. But I actually started working my business when I would say right after I finished 2009. So what's that, like 5-6 years or so, unofficially. But I officially got my business started and, got things set up the way they need to be and all that 2 years ago.
Okay. And in those 2 years, dealing within the financial industry, what is something that shocked you the most, right? And then, what shocked you the most? And in addition, what keeps you going within the finance industry?
Okay. What shocked me the most is, it's really, man, how there is a cycle of poverty that people tend to be stuck in, and they're stuck. What I've found is they're stuck in that cycle of poverty because they don't know any better. They don't have the information, and I guess I want to say the ignorance.
I understand ignorance is not necessarily that harsh of a word. It just means that you don't know.
Right.
So, yeah.
So the ignorance of when it comes to finances, and really how they work, how to make them work for you. That's been the biggest thing, man, is the fact that people really don't know. And what motivates me in the midst of that is, I know, so let me teach and show people. Let me do what I really feel like I've been called to do, and that's to help people become better, in their finances, in their, their business, in their lives, period. So that's my motivation, man.
Okay, so listen, you just shared a lot of information. We got to take a break from all the knowledge that he just dropped. And so listen, we'll be back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show right after this quick commercial break.
I'm just so frustrated with this wedding planning. Hey, not to bother you, but you need help planning your next event? Girl, call Creative Designs. They would love to make your dreams come true without even breaking the bank. They specialize in weddings, parties, formal events, and so much more. They actually have over 20 years experience to bring your vision to a reality. Let me give you their phone number and you can call them today at 252-378-7140. That's 252-378-7140. And one of their professional staff members will love to assist you. Again, that name is Creative Designs. Ty's Beauty and Barber Supply, taking care of all of your hair care needs for women and men. We offer bundles, oils, crocheting, braiding, and so much more. We have a large inventory of bundles from short, wavy, curly, straight, and long that will turn heads everywhere you go. Don't worry, men. We have products to keep you clean and handsome. We carry extensive supplies of barber products. Visit us at 1311 West Arlington Boulevard, Greenville, North Carolina, or contact us at 252-689-6540. Open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 7:30 to 9, and Sunday, 10 to 5. Ty's Beauty and Barber Supply.
Listen, we're back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show. I'm your host, Joshua Burney, aka Joshua B, your public speaking rapper with an English degree. And we're back here with Antonia Money Bunn from Influx of Wealth. And listen, you started before commercial break. You ended off on a note that segued perfectly into what I wanted to ask. And you were saying that how you felt called to be able to help people with their finances. So my question to you is, how has faith been a part of your journey or a part of your success?
Okay, man, when it comes to Influx of Wealth, this was birthed from faith, man. Like I said, I never saw myself as a business owner. I never saw myself, as a business owner, simply put. But one night I was asleep and I woke up and the Lord was like, hey, write this down. And I wrote, Influx was in my mind, and like I said, this was around the time where I was talking about, finding a part-time job and, all that stuff. And, the Lord showed me that, your part-time job's inside of you. During this time was when this happened. I woke up and, I was thinking like, okay, how can I do this? And, Influx of Wealth came to me, and I just began to, research and this, that, and the other. And, make a long story short, like I said, this was birthed through faith. I started off, I had no money to run the business. I was spending the money, paying for the business out of my own pocket, but I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if this is really for me, this is really what you've called me to do, show me, and he showed me, man. He began to open up doors. He began to introduce, I began to meet new people and, new opportunities to, do business, and, went from the personal finance to business and all that stuff. And, it just, all of this has been a faith journey, and I will say that being a part of my church has really helped groom me in that area of faith, and man, yeah.
Well, listen, that's just fabulous to hear. That's just genuinely fabulous to hear, man. And I thank you for sharing your journey with us. Now, listen, before we end today, two things. One, tell us what other services Influx offers. What exactly is under Influx? What all you do? And lastly, tell us where to find you. How can people out there contact Antonia Money Bunn? Okay.
Well, Influx of Wealth. At Influx of Wealth, we offer, as you said, personal finances, which is what we've been talking about the entire time. We also offer business services such as bookkeeping, accounting, payroll. Then we offer tax preparation. Come January, we'll be doing tax preparation, tax services. And then we also, now I'm currently working on a real estate license. So there will eventually be a real estate portion where we'll also be doing property management as well. So that's kind of like everything we do in a nutshell. And then as far as my contact information, you can go on the website, which is www.influxofwealth.com. That's INFLUX of wealth.com. You can email me at info@influxofwealth.com. And you can call at 866-899-9020.
Well, listen, there you have it.
Like us on Facebook as well.
And this is true. Look, I seriously mean this, people. Go out, like their pages on Facebook. Go to their website, contact them, whether it's just a simple question saying, hey, I seen the interview, I have questions, whether you're really interested in actually using his services, which I highly recommend. I'm not going to put my name on it if I do not recommend it. This is something I actually recommend. I use myself, and I promise you, it really is something special. And support these people. We talk about in this time or within our country, the economy is so important, and that way what we want to do here is provide that opportunity so that way you see what is out here and what you have access to. So listen, spend the monies in your neighborhood, keep the dollars circulating within your communities, and I promise you, not only will your community be better, but also your family will be better as well. And it'll give you ideas, it'll expose you, and it will connect you. And that's what we're all about here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show, connecting with individuals. So listen, we connected with Mr. Money Bunn again today. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Joshua Burney Morning Show. I'm your host, Joshua Burney, aka Joshua B, your public speaking rapper with an English degree, and we'll be back here next time at the Joshua Burney Morning Show.